Good evening, Orgone, Orgonite, and metaphysical enthusiasts. We are doing a demonstration tonight of the PFC Orgone Generator. This is going to be an intermediate demonstration to clear up a few misconceptions, address some practical examples of ways to use the Orgone Generator, and talk about the device itself, its anatomy, and its uses. So here we go. For the basic introduction, you can visit our website, orgonegenerator.com. This is an Orgone generator. It generates a pulsing stream of life force. This is the PFC 2400 HD model made here in the USA. There's only one inventor and true manufacturer of Orgone generators, Carl Wells. So make sure you're getting these devices through our website, orgonegenerator.com. There's a lot of rip-offs out there. People plug in a tuner, throw some Orgonite, and they think they have an Orgone generator. They're quite misled. This is a trade secret. So make sure you're getting it from us, as well as to get your lifetime warranty and customer service. This model has a frequency tuner built in, as do the higher models now, the Rad 5, ATG 12. So you can see the hertz frequency at which the electromagnetic pulse is emitted into the Orgonite, and the Orgone is emitted out this silver tube here. This is 99.99% pure silver. It's an energetic favorite. Platinum has the highest free electron, then gold, then silver, then copper. So ideally we'd have platinum wires in our houses, but we're not quite there yet. This is a hunk of Orgonite, and there's a massive hunk of super Orgonite in the device as well. Here's the power. We're plugged in, we're turned on. This is a brand new device. It's nice and shiny. And these three dials, we'll go through them one by one. Adjust the frequency. They can be also be used as radionics dials for rates. Now, I was just having a conversation with a gentleman earlier. This is very important to note. In traditional radionics, the rate is not actually a frequency. The rate is set because of the value assigned to it. So this actually changes the frequency, and you can also use these to set a rate, which is simply a locked in identification for an abstraction, a thought of a person, a place, something like that. For example, and we're going to start simple and we're going to work into a couple more advanced operations. So we'll come back to the rates in a second. You got 0.68 frequency. One of the most simple operations you can do. You can have this plugged in, turned on in your house, and we're going to set it to 3.5 hertz. See, it goes to the 10th decimal there. There's 3.5 hertz. This is a said to be a oneness frequency. So you set this, you see the pulsing light here. It's 3.5 hertz. You can clearly see, and you can test with a multimeter. So the Orgone is now being emitted at 3.5 hertz, as well as anything charged by the well plate here or the stick pad. But really anywhere around the device, and at a certain point, it'll fill your home with 3.5 hertz frequency. So if you and a couple of roommates or your family have, let's say, 1,000 square foot house, or even a 2,000 or 3,000 square foot house, and you've got one of these, you can plug it in, you can turn it on, you can leave it at 3.5 hertz, and it will radiate an Orgone field colored with oneness frequency. Now, these are experimental technologies. They're not intended to treat, cure, or diagnose any disease. a lot of the things we're covering are going to be pretty far out there for people. I can just say if you're new to this, we've got a lot of information explaining the concepts. These are still considered theories, as is much of what we use in today's world. So the best way is to test it for yourself. And to those who are truly skeptical, if you buy a device and you don't like it, you can send it back for a full refund. And those people who just think it's too good to be true, well, once this goes fully mainstream, like the computer did, then we'll catch up to you in about 10 years, and you can be safely with the pack there. So this is a very simple use. 3.5 hertz, let it fill the house, fill your room, your office. You can have it on in your store. Anyone who comes in, the Orgone frequency of 3.5 hertz will be present there. Okay, so that is a simple operation. Here's another 3.5 hertz frequency. You can charge the water with it. Okay, so a glass this size on a generator this powerful, a minute, and it's safely fully saturated if you had the whole jar filled up. You can put a cap in the jar and you can take it with you, and you're taking water saturated with Orgone. All water stores information, and you're drinking it down. So the water will be saturated with life force, colored at that frequency. It's another simple operation here. Okay, so here we have a couple supplements. We have a pair of Orgonite pendants. We have a book. A few other things we're going to get into. People ask me often, even with the other devices that don't have the frequency meter, maybe it's the JU99 that's set at the Schumann resonance. Hey, what's the deal with this frequency? What, I don't understand it. Well, I'll tell you this. You can leave the frequency at a baseline, and the smaller devices are set at a baseline, and you can do any number of operations with the device without changing the frequency, and you're still able to direct the Orgone towards whatsoever means you desire. Now, someone who got this device would want it specifically to adjust the frequency to an exact setting. Just as with radionics, you can create your own frequencies. Well, you can select a frequency for your own means. So say you have like a angel number or a lucky number or something like that. Well, you can use this in that way. Let's say 333, that's a great one. Okay, you can set it there, and if that means something to you, you have a connection with that number, this is a great device for you because you can reach it with great precision. You see here it's very sensitive, so even doing this video, it's sensitive to the touch, so you can get down to the precise decimal there. Okay, 3.33. So you can charge your entire house, you can fill it with an Orgone frequency of 3.33 hertz. You can also do 33.3 and 333. 62 hertz is a great frequency for physical rigor. And these also correspond with brain waves. That's a really fun thing to test if you have someone with a brainwave reader. They're relatively affordable now. And I wouldn't be too dogmatic about the, if there's 62 hertz, I'm satisfied with that if I'm using it for practical use. So you can energize your water. Let's just pretend this is a new glass of water, or you could clear it and re-energize it with 62 hertz. If you have a friend coming over, you're going to work out, 62 hertz, you can charge both your waters, your pre-workout, with that vigorous frequency of life force, saturate the water, the food, the supplements with it, and then you can go to town there. So that's a couple simple ways to use this thing. 33 hertz, they say, is Christ consciousness or crystal consciousness. So what you can do is you can set it to 33 hertz, and you can leave this on in your house. Now, you certainly don't have to bring this with you everywhere, the whole device. You can carry the energy with you in an item or in a structural link. Now these are our signature Orgonite pendants. This is the Super Orgonite. Notice the fine metal powder. It's much stronger than any other Orgonite commercially available, and it's a much better deal. So here's how this works, folks. Pretty straightforward. 33 hertz on the device. Set one pendant here. Now these, when you buy them in the pair, are structurally linked through an identical link, crystal. So bring this one with you in your pocket, keychain, necklace, and this one, leave it on your device at home. Get back to the exact here. And wherever you go, the Orgonite is linked to the Orgone generator at this frequency, and you are receiving, through the identical structural link pendant, the emission of Orgone pulsing at the frequency you set. Okay? Simple as that. Workout, love, inspiration, whatever setting you put in your frequency and on your generator, you are receiving that through your pendant. Best way is to test it. Identical structural links, we have quite a bit written on this. Carl has successfully transferred a signal across the Atlantic, snap of the fingers, and that's no wires, folks. We're not talking about radio waves here. So we'll start to get a little more advanced with our operations. Let me show you another one of our items. This is a power booster. Okay, so Super Orgonite, we got silver in there, and this has a bigger silver pipe for the heavy-duty generators, more heavy-duty generators, excuse me. And these come together. So this is linked to this. So this goes on your output right here. Boom, slides on. Okay. And this goes with you. So not only does the extra Super Orgonite boost the output, the strength of the Orgone emitted from your generator, but it also is connected to the structural link, so this comes with you. So it serves the same purpose as the TC99, yet it's got a boosted amount of Super Orgonite, boosts the output of your generator. And the TC99 will not fit around the piping of the heavy-duty generators, but it will fit around the smaller generators, and we have the power boosters available for the smaller generators that fit to the output pipe as well. You can also set it right here, frankly, but you know, it's made to go here, and it's a little nicer that way. So if you want to test this with friends, you can put this up to your third eye, your hand. There's a lot of ways to test and feel the output. Many skeptical people, engineers, you know, whoever, they can feel the output straight away by putting your hand here. And once you become used to the Orgone, it won't feel as significant to you. You know, you might first get one and feel, oh wow, that's amazing. Or when you buy one at an expo or something, or you test it at your friend's house. But then you become saturated and the Orgone does not feel as significant to you. Okay, but you'll still be getting a full saturation. All right, here. So this is a low hertz frequency pulse. As you can see, the green light goes with the setting there. It's all the way up. It's basically constant. Okay. People ask me, they like the 532 hertz, and we got everything cranked up, and it's 529. They say, well, man, I want to get to 532 hertz. Well, chances are, if you're into 532, excuse me, actually, you could be 532, but 432 is very common in music. Either way, all you have to do is you go down to one octave lower. So in this case, to get to 532, you go to 53.2. And if you know anything about hertz frequencies or music, by going 1 octave lower, you can still hit the higher octave, 532. So that's as effective as 532 hertz, 53.2. And you know, you play with it there, you set it down, you get it precisely where you want it. Same thing, you can charge the water, you can charge yourself. Now with a generator of this caliber, you can run quite a few operations at once. And I tell people, keep it simple. This is a very versatile tool. You can use it in many, many different ways, but there are a lot of simple ways to use it, and you can build up and still get the same effectiveness. So one way to do this, let's say you got this and you lost your TC99 and you're going on a trip and we're shipping one to you, but it may not get there in time. Well, all you have to do is this. Write your name, okay? Place it on here, and you are being energized by the output. Now you can put things technically under, on top, to the side. This the entire area around the generator is filled with a massive orgone field. You know, technically out in front of the output pipe, it's a great place to go. Now you can also do like this number with these. This works great with business cards. Love letters, whatever, pictures, okay? Now, let's go to 10.5 hertz. This is a good frequency for love, so they say, for the heart. It's been measured. Spirit of Matt, what is it? The study of Matt. It's a good, they do some scientific tests. So 10.5 hertz, and let's say you want your neighbor to feel love. Well, all you need is a structural link to your neighbor, a picture, their name, an article of clothing. Maybe they left their shoelace in your yard, okay? So you can write their name, 10.5 hertz. There you go. They are being energized with the frequency of love of the orgone output. Simple as that. Now, let's say you want someone to love you. 10.5 hertz, love frequency, target. Susie Q. Action, loves John. Target, Susie Q. If you have a picture of Susie, you can put it right here. Boom, easy as that. If you have, you know, you can print a digital picture, whatever. If you have a good memory, this is a person you see frequently, well, Susie Q, target, action, loves John, 10.5 frequency hertz, boom, there you go. Simple as that, guys. You can put it in some water and, you know, energize the water with this operation. So you can also not use the frequency at all. Again, those of you interested in this particular generator, this is really, you know, but it's important to know the frequency can be on a low pulse and the orgone output is still there. So you can still run this operation with this hertz. You can also use the audio input. So you want to put a Beatles album in there, you know, love, audio input MP3, iPod, computer. You can run the album, the music, the frequency into the audio input. That will influence the orgone output. And there you have it. Now, when I'm influencing the orgone output with a physical item, I like to put it right here. But you can also put it here. You can also identify it with a program or a written operation. So here you have chlorophyll, okay? We all mostly know how certain frequencies are put into water or other solutions. They take something like lavender, and then they dilute and dilute and dilute till there's really no material lavender left, yet the frequency is imbued into the water. There's books on the subject, Dancing with Water. Masuri Moto did a lot influencing water. Water is a great conduit of energy, information. It stores, gives, and receives information. I think they even stored a whole library of DVDs into a droplet of water. So, that's all stuff for everyone to explore on their own. This is an experimental technology. As I say, the best way is to test it. So maybe I'm running low on chloroxygen, and I want to still enjoy its essence. Can take chloroxygen there, put the water right here. Yes, indeed. It is that simple. Now, mega hydrate, same thing. Patrick Flanagan. Looks like I'm running low. Same deal. Both. Same deal. You want to take this with you on the road? Take this with you. Okay, same deal. You're out. This is at your house. You're on a hike and bike trail. You brought your pendant with you. It's linked to your generator. Your generator has these set up. Okay? Just hold it next to your water. Yep, you gotta try it. And if you have a friend who says, hey, what are you doing with that pendant? How's that work? Well, take 2 identical glasses of water, energize one, don't energize the other, and do a blind taste test. Do it with a third party who hasn't seen you energize one of the glasses of water, and test it out. Now, if you're doing that at your house with a heavy-duty generator, it's gonna energize all the water in the house. So if you're taking a pendant with you, that's a great way to test it. This is a grounding setup. So this metal here, you're supposed to place it on your wrist, on your ankle. This is supposed to hook up to a grounding rod or to a grounding socket, through your electrical outlet, which is grounded. So it's supposed to hook up to a grounding rod one way or another. Well, you want to be grounded. Here's a little more advanced technique. Let's say you got this at home. Let's do a real easy one here. Grounding rod in yard. Okay, let's say you have a grounding rod in your yard. Get a little more tricky here, folks. Grounding rod in your yard. This is a structural link to a grounding rod in your yard. As you write it, think about the rod. If you have a picture of the rod, that works even better. You can put that picture on this device. Now here you go. That's where it gets fun. You have this on your device and you have this with you. You can link up right here. Yep, you gotta test it. And you can also just have this on you and be connected to the grounding rod. Now, if you're running this and you're running other operations, it's gonna ground them out. So what you wanna do, if you're running multiple operations on any device, first things first, equal and separate operations. If you're going to run a lot of operations, set this here, set it and forget it, as they say. With a device like this, you can have 20, 30 operations going at once. Now, what's going to happen if they're equal and separate, when one operation saturates, the orgone will balance out onto the others. So let's say you didn't have equal and separate operations and you had 20 different ones running. Well, the stronger life forms would pull the majority of the orgone. But when it's equal and separate, say on this device you run 15 operations, you got this going, well, they're all getting an equal and separate orgone flow. Otherwise, if you're running stuff, it might get interfered. For example, if you want to be grounded, but you don't want to ground your other operations, you need to have them equal and separate. Otherwise, this grounding rod right here that's hooked into the earth is going to ground everything you put on the device. All you got to do is test it. We got some Tesla reading here. Okay, let's see. What's a good mind frequency? Well, this one works for me, but you know, that's more of a personal thing. Anyway, so all you do here, bada boom, you got no other operations running. You can do this anyway without a generator. It just won't be as potent. So you set the water on the book, and they've tested this stuff. You can look it up. Now, give it a few minutes, drink the water. You should read the book also, you know, but you can also set up super learning on yourself while you read the book. All right, let's do a couple more. Various combinations, mega hydrate, in the book, all the information therein, into the water, drink up. Okay, you want to think about the book while you sleep, your generator, you're staying somewhere else, you're traveling, bring this with you. There you go. Now, if you want to run equal and separate operations, you still got that there. You can do 62 hertz. Close enough, 62 hertz, equal and separate. You can also run a love operation. Say 62 hertz is for your water, and you also want to run a love operation, maybe gain favors from your boss at work, something like that. You can have both going. You can also have your grounding going, and you can have the book. Let's say you want to learn the book, you want to do the love spell on your boss at work, and you want to energize the water with physical vigor. Place your picture in the book, or even write it down. Knowledge of book transfers John Smith. Okay. Got 3 operations going at once, and you want to bring this with you. What I like to do personally is use the program online. It makes it really simple to keep everything organized. This is a tool, so it responds to the input that you give it. You can also have something going audio input, speaking of input. Now, you could not even have a physical copy of this book, and you could experimentally attempt to absorb its information. Many say it works extremely well, surprisingly well. So you can use a picture of that book as a structural link on your device, and you can put your picture adjacent with it, or you could write it down. Transfer information from Nikola Tesla book to John, to Joe, to Susie. You can do several operations on here. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Target, action, it's all it takes. You can also just have a target. Simply target the person with orgone or the place. If you want to target a whole neighborhood with orgone, maybe to be like positive, feel a sense of unity, 3.5 hertz. Okay. Again, we're focusing on the hertz for this particular device. It's one of its main appeals. It's a heavy-duty device, but this one in particular, the precision frequency tuner, 3.5. All right. Is that close enough? What do you think? So you say friend 1, friend 2, friend 3, house 1, 2, 3. These people and places could be all over the world. Let's say you've got a team that works worldwide, remotely. You want everyone to feel unified, have a unified front. Test that out. There you go. All right, the precision frequency tuner. As always, we're here for questions, comments, and we'll be doing more videos. OrgoneGenerator.com, and read up and test it yourself. Let us know what you think. Thank you.